Hello and welcome to Dice Jesters. My name is Julie.
And my name is Dave.
And we are your merry and whimsical board game podcast where we explore games with curious minds and a jester's grin. And we want to welcome you to Season 4. But first, Dave, have you come prepared with a query for the court?
Ooh, I love that. Well, this week I just came with a question of, Julie, what do we have in mind for Season 4? Because we just wrapped up Season 3, 10x10 Challenge. Feels like just the other week. In fact, it was. But we've been talking so much about what we wanted to do for the future of Dice Jesters, and I'm just curious, how do we plan to structure this season?
Well, David, us, Lupin, we've all evolved in our own way, you know? I mean, Lupin's still our precious little man's, but now he goes on precious little adventures with us.
Outside.
Outside. He goes at playground, yes.
He saw a deer and he did just fine. He saw a raccoon.
Right, he saw a raccoon. There was no animals he wanted to fight, so that was good because back in the day when he met my sister's dog, he bopped him in the face.
I could see him just going whack.
He gave him like a warning teeth show. He said, "Stop barking in my face." And then her dog proceeded and he went wop wop.
So I told you. I warned you.
Like, okay, Lupin, okay, I see you come from, the streets instead of the castle. Yeah. But Season 4 in general. So Dice Jesters has been around playing 10 games and doing the 10x10 challenges, which if you're new here, a 10x10 challenge is you pick out 10 games, you play it 10 times, and usually people do it in a year, or maybe it's kind of a New Year's resolution, or whatever item that they have, whatever challenge that they set up for themselves. Well, we set up a challenge for ourselves where we would play 10 games and make a podcast about it following that specific game, which we've done 3 of, so... Yeah,
a lot. 30 games at least 10 times.
Mm-hmm. A big question that we receive is how do we do it? And honestly, we don't watch TV, we don't go out much, we kind of just play games. Dave and I have found that we are the same mindset when it comes to playing games, where
we just like to get into it.
Yeah, like if I lose, I'm just like, let's keep going. And if Dave loses, he's like, let's go for a walk and then come back. And I'm like, just so you can lose again.
And we have the game set up on the table and it's just there until we're done playing it 10 times. And then we take it down, we put up the next one. So that's kind of, we come home from work and boom, we're ready to go. Let's play.
Yeah, which leads into another question of, when we have games out, does Lupin interrupt? And honestly, when the game is out on the table by itself, Lupin does not interrupt.
I've been really impressed.
Oh, you've been impressed? I told you, he's my little man's, okay? He's going to get his own crow.
I would half expect to come home and find the pieces all over the floor, but he does a good job. I think he respects the table now.
Oh, he respects the table. Yeah. Well, I was going to say he jumps on the table when we're playing.
Is he the queen's hand? He should be the queen's hand.
He's my court jester.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a fool. So he doesn't mess with the components or the game board unless we're actually actively playing. Then he'll jump up because he wants the attention and, he wants to see what we're doing.
He doesn't do it as much, though, I've noticed. Like, if we're playing a game on the table, he doesn't get up there.
Yeah, that's true. He's learning a lot. I think maybe it's old age or something.
Old age.
Wiser.
He's an elderly...
He's a wizard. Yes! Lupin he's literally a wizard. His name is Lupin. Oh
Lupin the Wise.
Lupin the Wise. We'll figure out something for Lupin. But yeah, so all those. So, with Season 4, due to me now becoming, I would call myself a little seasoned. I got some flavor going on now.
Yes, got some seasoning on you.
Right, because board game terminology seems to always relate back to food. Like point salad, crunchy, meaty, flavorful.
Yeah.
So you know what? If I want to say I'm a little bit more seasoned, I think that's appropriate.
Yeah, I would say by this point you've played more games than the people in my life prior that I just played casually with, so.
Yeah. So that's super cool. So with that, we have decided to change it up because now I'm developing a taste for certain board games.
Yes.
That we've noticed, and due to that, having a set 10 games that we state that we're going to do, because we're big on if we say it, we're going to do it. And that's how I have personally been my whole life, even if it's detrimental, where I'm just like, no, we said we'd do this, so we go do it.
Fight through the pain.
Right. But this time, we have decided to pick any game, because there's games that we haven't played that we still want to play that's sitting on our quote-unquote shelf of shame. And
opportunity.
Shelf of opportunity. I love how you always make it positive. And these are like Septima, SETI, Dave's been on
Civolution.
Yes, Civolution.
Unconscious Mind.
Unconscious Minds. What's that one that looks like a composition journal that you had really, really wanted?
Oh, Antiquity.
Antiquity.
Wow. That yeah.
So, Feast of Odin.
Feast for Odin, yeah.
Feast for
Lisboa.
Odin.
There's so many games.
Yeah, Lisboa and Feast for Odin was in my reel with the fish.
And a lot of smaller games, too. I'm excited to play.
So, this way, for Season 4, we're still going to deep dive, as we've been calling it, into games and explore them. But we're not going to say, oh, these are the 10 that we're dedicating to, or this is the theme, or this is that. It's going to be, we're going to start a game, play it at least 3 times, and then by the 3rd time, if it's something that we're not feeling, we will sentence it to vacating the shelves.
It'll be dismissed from the court.
Dismissed from the court. I like that. That's better than what I wanted to say.
Or a bow.
Ooh, okay.
And I think that at this point, you have developed your own preferences for games. And you know, just if I were to tell you about a game, you could say, yes, I would like that, or no, I wouldn't like that. And I think part of the issue that I've run into in the past is I've just taken chances on games I picked up for cheap, or, things that I already had in my collection, and I was like, hey, I don't know if we're going to like this, but let's just give it a try. So I put them on the 10x10 challenge. We'd start playing it and realize, hey, this isn't a game that we really love, but we're going to keep playing it until we get to the end. So my idea is that I'm going to involve you, Julie, in the decision-making process, where my goal is to get through games. There's so many games on the shelf that I've had for a long time that I don't even know if we would necessarily like at this point. I just want to get rid of the ones, trade away the ones that we don't want, have our shelf be all amazing games that we love. So I had this idea that I'm going to pitch a game to you before we play it. So I'll give you the rule book, the whole backstory, and then I'll just name a few things about the game without mentioning the designer, without telling you the title, and you can decide, yes, this is a game we want to play, or no, this is a game we don't want to play. No hard feelings. I'll just trade it away if it's one that we decide, but we're not going to waste our time on games that we aren't necessarily excited about.
Okay.
And then if we do decide to play a game, we'll commit to playing it at least a few times. And then at that point, if we decide, yes, let's continue, the game will go through a trial called the Jesters Gambit.
Yes.
Which is going to be like, we're just going to play this game as many times as we feel like we have explored everything, we've done everything that we want to. And at that point, either we would want to keep the game because even though we've done everything we wanted to, we'd want to come back from time to time, or hey, we had a good time, we saw everything, we're going to courteously part ways at this point in time. Or we play it a few more times and decide, oh, this isn't what we thought. For whatever reason, we can part ways. But there's no commitment to continue playing it a certain number of times, and allows us to play the game a lot more times as well.
Yeah.
And then, so the games can be big, they can be small, but the idea for the season is that any game can be on the table for a Jester's Gambit, whether it's a card game, a big box game, but we'll keep the season going until we've covered Jester's Gambit of 10 quote-unquote bigger games. Right. However we want, that just feels right. Like, yeah, this feels like a big box game. This will be one of the 10. So
yeah. So we'll still be keeping the season, still keeping 10 games that we for sure go into great detail with. So it will be similar to our previous seasons. It'll simply change based off of if we don't like a game. We don't need to complete it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'm excited too, because this also means that we don't have to play that game 10 times. We could play it more than 10 times. So if we run into something like Aquasphere, where I wanted to continue playing it, you're just like, no, I know I'm going to lose. No, I'm kidding. But, or when we play a game, and even though, like, Underwater Cities, that one was a big one where we wanted to continue playing.
Yeah.
Both of us did. And we thought or felt that we had to stop because we had played it 10 times. So perhaps that one could be a revisit someday. But
exactly.
With this new format, we could continue playing it, and then we can give better information and data based off of our experience and show like, okay, after 20 games, we have found this is a broken strategy, or we have found that the best strategy is this, or this worked for me, or this didn't work, or we liked it. Yeah.
Put it to the test.
Yeah, it's literally a gambit.
It's a good name for it. And also, there was pressure, I think, when we did the 10 by 10 challenges, like, we have to wrap up 10 plays and complete, quote unquote, complete the game to release a podcast episode. But with this format, it might be a continued conversation over a few episodes, but we'll be talking about more than one game, because we're actually going to be doing resummonings from the Jester shelf of cardboard curiosities. Where it'll give us a chance, because there's games that we want to go back to and play and stuff. So each episode we will have a chance to talk about any games that we have replayed from past ones, any new ones that we've played a few times in our Jesters Gambit. So potentially 3 games that we've played over the last week. So I'm excited for that. So in short, a lot of new things. Yeah. A lot of new things, but a lot of familiar things. Familiarity, Dave, me, and Lupin. Of course, playing games and just having fun and discussing our experience and just my growth as well. And honestly, Dave's learning too what he likes still, even after all this time. I've learned a lot, because in the past I didn't really have a chance to play a game that many times. I'd play it a couple times, and every time I played it I was teaching somebody new. This is the first time I've truly had a chance to explore a game this deep with the different strategies and learning another person's play style and adapting to that, and oh wow, you're changing up this game. I need to figure out what I'm doing. It's not like sometimes you play a game with somebody new and they might take a weird strategy that you're not used to, and it kind of, I don't want to say messes up the game, but when you play somebody who understands the game, you've gotten past that learning curve of learning the rule book and the iconography and all that, and you can just get that out of the way and go into the strategy, the strategic aspect. That's what I really have enjoyed. And it's taught me a lot about my preferences in games too. Yeah. So, speaking of rebirthing things from the graveyard, I know you called it something else, but this is all new because So, we played one of my favorites, and that is Havre. And I'm laughing because the last round that we played of it, my score... Oh, wow. So, okay. So as Dave had found out in season 3, and I found out about myself, was that anytime I play board games, specifically with Dave, I really haven't played a whole bunch of board games with other people other than Dave and when we had gone on the board game retreat. But I had found out that I play pretty chill until somebody comes into my area, and then I get really aggressive. And that's what happened in the last round of Havre, because we played it 3 more times. Yeah, we played it 3 times this week. Yeah, and we had brought it out. I usually get the fish one, the fishery, and then the smoked. Oh, yeah, because you get the fish and you turn them into smoked salmon. Yes, I cook those. Yeah, you cook the salmon. So I do that all the time. I always somehow beat Dave to it after the initial 10 by 10, because I remember I saw Dave taking those, and then when he took them, he had won those rounds. So then, like the mimic jestery I am, I said, okay, I'm going to take those. So then I did, and then figured out how to always beat him to it. Long story short, come to our final round, Dave takes them. He takes them back, and it angered me. So you were fuming when I took those cards. I was, but it was a silent fume, which knows that you were in trouble. Yeah, it's when you stop laughing. I should be scared. Right. So we were going about our business, playing the game. Dave probably thought, you probably thought, honestly, you probably thought that you were going to win because I had one card for the first 4 rounds. I didn't purchase anything. I was simply gathering materials because... Plotting your demise. Yeah, or my demise. I was so mad. I was just like, how could he do this to me? He knows that's what I go for. So then I bought a whole bunch of things because I would always
go to the spot where you could build 2. And after building 2, I caught up to you because I was counting your cards. And then I converted lots of my items to bigger items to get the luxury ships.
Oh, you got the...
And sell. And did all this stuff. And then, boom, 238.
Wow.
High school.
Well, it was funny because the first 2 rounds that we replayed the game, you were intent on trying to get 200 points. Or, I mean, it's 200 francs in the game.
Yeah, sure.
And then I didn't do so well the first 2. I was, like, getting the hang of everything. The 3rd round, I was like, okay, I got this. Got my strategy. I'm going to get all the stuff that I need. I'm going to get the fish, convert it to smoked salmon. And then I'm going to work on getting some of these buildings, ramping that up. Then I got the church that let me convert 5 bread and 2 fish into 10 bread and 5 fish or something like that. Something cool. I didn't have to worry about food anymore, so I was cruising along, and then I got a couple ships and was shipping goods. Anyway, my score was pretty good. I got, north of 100. It was like 1, I can't remember what I ended up with, but then I looked over at what you had. You had all this money. You got your luxury liner, and you crushed me in the last round. Even though I thought I was doing so well. Because I took those 2 buildings that you really liked, you were like, that's the motivation I need to annihilate you in this game.
To simply demolish so that you understand to never take my buildings again. Because I was telling you that too at the end of the round. I just was like, if you didn't take these things from me...
You would have let me win? Because
I wouldn't have let you win. I would have gone my normal route that I normally do. See, that's what it is. I do the same strategy over and over again once I start winning, So you just have to learn the strategy. And then
but that makes you angry.
No. You learn the strategy, and then you find a way to win without interrupting my strategy.
Okay, well, I've tried to do that, and it doesn't work. So, by the way, this game we played in, Season 2?
Yes.
Yeah, Season 2, and it was... I can't remember where it landed in our list of favorite games, but we keep talking about Le Havre. And when I had this idea for us to revisit games periodically in Season 4, I was like, one of the top games I can think of that I want to replay is Le Havre, because we'd already played this game like 16, 17 times or something like that. We've played it a bunch. Mm-hmm. And so it was refreshing getting it out. And especially in this last season, we dealt with some games that had some convoluted aspects to the game with upkeep and housekeeping and so forth. And it was just nice to play a game where literally in this game, what you're trying to do is get the most money. If you're not familiar with Le Havre, it's a game by Uwe Rosenberg. And you are getting buildings, and it's this resource conversion, resource management game. You're moving a ship of this port, and on your turn, you can do one of 2 things. You can get a pile of goods, which accumulate whenever you land on a space. Or you have one worker in the game, you can move it to another building, whether it's yours, or if you move it to an opponent, then you pay them goods based on the entry fee, or you can go to use the city buildings and so forth. And the game is this really, really nice, clean rule set where I only had to consult the rule book a couple times in a replay because I forgot a couple of things. But for the most part, it starts really simple. There's like a few things that you can do. But as the game goes on, more buildings come out. You have all these choices, and you're converting things, you need to ship them to get money, and ultimately at the end of the game, you don't want anything left on the table. So it's a game of high efficiency, where you're trying to have the best return on your investments, you're trying to be able to ship things for money, but you also have to feed at the end of each round, which gets progressively more and more expensive to be able to feed. So you have this baseline, like you're trying to meet your needs, but then you're trying to exceed that and get profit in terms of like buildings on the table, or in terms of actual money that you have too. But at the end of the game, goods that you have left in your supply are not worth anything. So I think that's really cool. It's just this really clean efficiency puzzle that takes us about an hour and 15 minutes, but never feels that long because I'm so captivated from the very first turn all the way until the last one. And this game is one of my absolute favorites. And that hasn't changed. In fact, I think I even like it more even after taking a break and then coming back to it. But how did you feel? Do you feel like your perspective changed? Do you feel like anything new stood out to you this time?
I do feel like it's still one of my favorite games, and I still love it as much as when we did the initial 10 by 10 of it. One thing that I was really proud of today, though, was that I was able to clear all my resources.
Yeah.
And
you
I was just
pictures.
like, I did the game.
I was like, what are you taking pictures of? There's nothing in front of you. You're like, exactly. There's nothing left on the table. That's the goal of the game. That's why you won.
I wonder if I took a picture of just an empty table, if somebody could just guess that game. It'd be like, oh, you cleaned your resources, or oh, wow. Because they would see all the coins.
The stack of coins.
Yeah.
We almost ran out of coins in the supply. That's how much money you had. It was absolutely ludicrous.
It was so I felt so proud, but I still love it.
Still love it. Well, it hasn't reached the year mark, but I do suspect this will be promoted to the shelf of Jester Cheer once we get to that point.
Yes.
And probably way beyond that. I don't think this game is going anywhere. It is amazing. But I was very happy to resummon it from the Jester's shelf of cardboard curiosities.
Oh, it's resummon, not rebirth. Okay.
Rebirth.
Rebirth's like a Yu-Gi-Oh term. You get that card, you're like, rebirth, and then back from the Shadow Realm it comes. You're like, you're really into the Shadow Realm. And I was like...
You should teach me Yu-Gi-Oh sometime.
So I can send you
Or I could find a game
Realm.
that's similar to it. I'm sure I could. Well, that's fun. Thank you for playing that with me. And for a game I would like to... offerings to the crown. Offer this game. So I have a game that I believe that we're going to like. And I'm just going to read you the back. I tried to look in the rulebook for a backstory. There's not one in the rulebook, but there's one on the back cover. And in a weird way, it reminded me of... I remember when I was in middle school and I was doing a book report. Trying to do a book report on a book I didn't actually read. And I quoted the back of the book in this essay that I wrote, and my teacher circled it in red and was like, why are you quoting the back of the book? It tells me you didn't actually read the book.
Oh, your teacher really said that?
Yes.
Wait, how old were you?
I don't know, maybe 13 or something.
Dude, your teacher got you. That's
I know,
so funny.
I got. But
now they got Cliff Notes and AI.
It reminded me of that for some reason. But here is the backstory. And whenever the backstory says the name of the game, I'll just replace it with this game. So you won't actually know what it's called.
Wait, how many backstories are you reading me?
Just one. But I mean, for each time I do this.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm listening.
In a high tower, an alchemist prepares potions using vials filled with otherworldly fluids. In a sacred grove, a druid grinds herbs for a mystical ritual. In the catacombs, a necromancer summons a bone dragon. Welcome to the world of this game. In it, life, death, elan, calm, and gold are the essences that fuel the art of magic. Choose your mage, gather essences, craft unique artifacts, and use them to summon dragons, conquer places of power, and achieve victory. So that is the backstory. And it's okay. You have your mouth open. You can close it. You need to breathe. Okay, you're good. So I'm going to give you 3 facts about the game.
Okay.
And I created rules for myself because I'm weird. But I'm never going to say the name of the game. I'm never going to say the designer. And I'm never going to say whether it's a big box game, small box game, whatever. So, but I'll name mechanisms or anything else I think might sway you in the direction of welcoming this game.
Me.
This offering to the crown. So, number 1, it's a resource conversion game, which we just played Le Havre. I know that you love it. We've played other games in the past of being able to take something, convert it to other things, and find this whole puzzle of converting goods in order to do what you want. So I know that your AI puzzly brain will do well with this. The second, and I know I wouldn't mention the designer, but the designer is famous for making really well-designed games. And is a very esteemed designer. He can do a lot with a little. I'm not saying how big the game is, but when you play his games, you never get a sense that there's any excess. Everything in the game is exactly needed. So I've been long fascinated in the design of this game specifically. And then number 3, you get to choose a mage, which is cool. But I was looking through the mages in the game, and one of them is a transmuter and is a bird lady. So she had an owl or falcon. And
why is everybody... Oh my gosh. I said I didn't like birds. And then I have bird stories. And now everyone's on my case.
You held an owl at Renaissance Fair. Every time we go walking, you're looking for eagles or,
okay, I'm only looking for eagles because you
we were driving today and you were pointing, you're like, look, there's an eagle. So,
I was saying,
when people come to visit us, they're going to have all these cool birds to watch.
No, I said it's so cool for the wildlife because I love nature and animals. And you're like, in turn, you love birds.
And then the other day, I saw binoculars come from Amazon. You started getting this clothing.
Did you get me binoculars? Is that what you're saying?
I'm getting the sense that you're going to go start bird watching, so...
David, if I could karate chop you without it being frowned upon.
The bird lady in Lost Ruins of Arnak, you remember the Falconeer?
Trust me, I remember her, because you allowed me to start with her.
Reminded me of the same character.
Oh my gosh.
If that doesn't get you pumped up. So, will you deem this one worthy of the crown's curiosity or unworthy of the crown's curiosity?
I don't know, because I feel like you're going to give me the bird lady.
Well, you don't have to take the bird lady if you're scared of her.
I'm not scared of her. I feel like there needs to be a rat king. Our perfect game would have a rat king and I guess a bird lady. And then you can be the rat king and I'll be a bird lady.
We could always go back to first rat. That'd be kind of fun.
Forget it. Okay, so the crown thing. Yes. In Jester spirit, I deem this one worthy of the crown's curiosity.
Long live the Jester Queen! The court is blessed by your curiosity.
What would you have said if I said no?
I guess you'll find out. So, I'm excited to teach this game, and in our next week's episode, we'll talk about our first impressions after playing it a few times, and also another resummoning that I have in mind that I'm really from the shelf of cardboard curiosities, Julie. So I'm excited for that. And thank you for taking the journey into Havre again with me this week.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for bringing out the jester flair, I must say. And thank you to the listeners. Honestly, thank you so much, especially for coming to season 4 or just starting out with us in season 4. No matter what, we appreciate you and we hope that listening to our podcast really brings you joy and hopefully inspires you to play board games, since that's what Dave and I do, and we feel close. We have all these jokes. He learned my distaste for birds. But
everybody knows you love birds.
We're gonna start getting bird things in the mail.
Yeah, we're gonna get birds in the mail.
They're gonna send us stickers.
Bird houses and everything.
Oh, anyways. Thank you so much. We truly, truly appreciate you.
We do.
It really does mean so much to us. It's just our passion project, you know? So it means a lot that you guys share the passion with us. So if you'd like to also share images with us, okay, see that little leeway in there? We are on Instagram. Our Instagram is dicejesters. There we post photos of games we're playing, fun reels occasionally when we're feeling creative, and you can see pictures of Lupin there. If you would like to get some behind-the-scene items to find out who Dave and I are outside of games in our side quest, you can find those items on Patreon, which is under Dicejesters as well. And if you would like to contribute ideas to Season 4, maybe there's a game you love, maybe there's a game you don't love, maybe there's a game you haven't tried and you're looking to try, or maybe there's a game that's sitting on your shelf forever and you want to know and have someone play it many times, feel free to email those suggestions to us at thedicejesters@gmail.com. All of this information will also be in the episode description in our bio site link, which I worked really hard on. So if you could just go click buttons, at least to make me happy to see
it.
Yeah, just
it
to
will
see
make
the
her
engagement.
happy.
It really will, because I have moving bubbles and stuff in it, and it looks pretty cool. I'm really proud
It's
of
very
it.
Julie.
Yeah, I took a lot of time making that because we had a link tree. Okay, I'm just gonna go down. So sorry, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. And as Season 1 started it, and Season 4 may or may not continue this saying, but to kick it off with good luck, be sure to play all the games with the ones you love.